Okay, the next step in the Chevelle LS Turbo build is installing a brand new radiator. Okay, so the radiator we're installing today came from Summit Racing, and it is from Griffin, and the part number is 8-70008-LS. The core size measures a huge 28 by 19 by 2.68 inches thick. It has 2 rows of aluminum tubes, and they are 1 1/4 inches wide each. The inlet and outlet are on the passenger side. The top is a 1 1/4, the bottom is a 1 1/2. This radiator also comes with a fitting for the steam vent line. This radiator includes an automatic transmission cooler. However, since I'm going to be running a manual trans, I'm not going to hook these up. If you want to see the full specs of this radiator, I'll leave a link in the video description, and you can head over to summitracing.com and check out all that info. Also, huge thanks to Summit Racing for sponsoring this video. A lot of parts for this build came directly from Summit Racing, so make sure to check them out. They'll have all the parts that you need. Okay, so the radiator's dropped in, it's mocked up. So I have a 70 Chevelle, and this car comes with 2 different core supports and basically a different top plate. Okay, so cars with big blocks and also small blocks with factory air conditioning got the core support with the larger opening. Okay, and the larger opening obviously lets more air in. Okay, so that's the one I have. As you can see, most of the radiator is exposed here, most of the core. So that's great because more air is going to go through here and therefore more cooling. Also, this top plate here, you either have a 3 or 4 plate hole version. I have the 4 plate, so this is for the heavy duty cooling, which is good. So less modification is needed here. Okay, so I dropped the radiator in, and there are no rubber isolators top or bottom at this point. And looking at this, the radiator needs to come down and sit lower in the core support. Okay, and what I'm finding is happening is there is a little bit of interference, or it's sitting on top of the lip here, which I'll show you once I remove everything. And after further research, this core support is for a 2-row radiator, I believe, and what they did for 4-row radiators is they had an extension piece. So this actually came out another inch or 2. So therefore, a radiator of this size, which I believe this is the same size as like a 4-row, would sit lower in this pocket. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some trimming and probably a little bit of fab work here. So let me take this all apart and we'll see what we're talking about. Okay, so this was what I was referring to with the top plate. You either get a 3-bolt plate or a 4-bolt plate. The 4-bolt plate is, I believe, wider and deeper for the bigger radiators, okay? And I already have this, so that's awesome. Okay, so this is the area that I'm talking about right here for 4-row, 4-core radiators. The Chevelles had like a little extension piece here to clear, and then the radiator would sit lower. So I'm gonna have to notch this, and what I'll have to do is build up this lip for strength, because this obviously adds a little bit of rigidity. So let's go ahead and chop this off. Okay, so here's all the grinding that occurred. You can see I pretty much had to just take down the lip over here, and then gradually the lip is still intact. So all the bare metal there is what needed to be taken out. Otherwise it was hitting the bottom of the radiator. Okay, so that's the driver's side. Moving over to the passenger side, just a little grinding. Most of this stayed intact, and for some reason this is bumped out further. So this side was okay. So we'll have to build that back up, but that'll be in a later video once the electric fans are on. Okay, still no isolators on here. I ordered some and they're coming in, but anyway, what I did is I trimmed the lip pretty much in this area right here, and then I had to do a little bit on the passenger side as well. And what that did is it allowed the radiator to sit lower, and you can see now this top plate looks much better right now, and once we add the isolators and everything, it should be just fine. Okay, so I ordered some saddles or radiator cushions. First off, these are the stock guys, and you can see they're totally smashed, so we obviously need to replace it. The first kit I bought was pretty much the same, okay, as far as the saddle is concerned, but these are too small for the radiator that we're installing here. But anyway, let me reference the part number. These are Prothane, and you can also buy these at Summit Racing. So this part number is for GM radiators, small block, 68 to 87, 7-1711-BL, because they're black. They also come in red. Okay, so these are too small. I got to return these. So over here are the much bigger ones, and the part number here, okay, this is 7-1712. Okay, big block. Okay, and I really wish they would have put the dimensions on their website. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you, so from here to here, the entire saddle is about 3.5, roughly, or yeah, 3.5. And then the small block ones are like 2 3/4 almost. Okay, so that's information for you. So okay, let's go ahead and put these in, and then we'll drop the radiator in and see how they fit. Okay, so it's really hard to get a camera in here, but anyway, these just pop right in. So you see that right there, there's that little nub that comes out of here, and there's two locations. Obviously this is for the much smaller radiator, so this is actually where my other one was, but anyway, so that guy fits in there nice. However, you can see this overhang here. Well, big block 4-row core supports have like this extension piece that wraps all the way around here and under here. So I'm probably gonna build out a lip here and tie it back into here. That will be in a future video, because I'm also putting electric fans on here and I will need some kind of mounting tab. So maybe I'll just build that all into one. But anyway, this needs to be kind of supported back here. But overall, that's where that sits. Okay, here we are on the passenger side. You could see this one fits in there perfect. See how this this kind of fits in here? There's a little lip to hold it. So that's what we need on the other side. Okay, so this is a good reference on how to do it. But yeah, that mount fits in there great. Alright, so we'll just drop it in, and the tank, this thing doesn't have saddles, but the welds, I'm going to line up the welds with, or the end tanks, right on these isolators. Okay, so it just goes just like that. Okay, and I have a bungee here, so this thing doesn't flop. Okay, so this is good for now. So let's take a look at how this fits. Okay, so it fits good. It needs a little tweaking down here. That side over there fits great. I do want to mention that my core support is kind of tweaked. Over here, there's a little bit of a bend. So what I had to do right here, this was bent down. I put a jack under it, jacked it up level, and then I tack welded it right here, and it seems to be holding. But there is a bend here, okay, and it's affecting the fitment ever so slightly, okay, but I'll have to play with that to get it just right. Okay, so now we have our top plate over here on this is the passenger side. This guy fits in here perfect, okay, just like that. However, on this side there's a little bit of interference right here. See that? So I'm gonna have to notch this. Okay, but let's just quickly see how this looks. And given that these don't have saddles, it seems like this radiator is a little taller. So I might have to trim these isolators a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and trim this. I'll mark this and we'll trim that out. Alright, so we will trim this right here. Silver Sharpies, awesome for metal work. Okay, so now this guy fits in here real nice. You can see this is a little unsupported. I might build that out in the future. Again, electric radiators need to be mounted off of this as well. So electric fans, sorry, not electric radiators. All right, so let's put this on here, and it's fitting real good. I can hold this plate down right to the bolts, and everything looks really good. I think something I've noticed is see these guys here have these rounds. Well, these end tanks are square. So what I think I'm gonna do is come in here and notch this to be square. Okay, on this side here, because then it'll bring the radiator right in there. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll probably take my knife and just cut these to be square. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to Sharpie mark what I want so I don't get all screwed up here. So I will trim that to be square, like so. Okay, I already practiced on one. I have a brand new blade in here. And what I found is if you just heat the blade with a blowtorch for a few seconds and then come in here, man, it's like cutting, it's like butter. Okay, so let me get my torch going here. So I'm just going to heat up the tip here. Alright, so I just notched that a little bit to give a little more clearance. So let's go back and see how that looks. Okay, so here it is. You can see it's notched, and if I lay this guy on here, you can see that it fits a lot better. So with downward pressure, yeah, that just fits so much better. And what I'll probably do is I'll do the bottom ones as well. But let me go ahead and just put this on for you so you can see. So that right there fits really nice. Alright, so let me trim the bottom ones and then we'll see how it fits. Okay, so all 4 isolators are notched, with the knife, and it fits a lot better in these isolators. And I have, it looks like 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch clearance from the core support, so nothing is going to rub. So if I run these bolts down, the radiator's installed and it fits really great. So yeah, looks nice. And yeah, I have these 2 sides to address, but that's pretty simple. Okay, so overall the fitment is great. There's about a 1/4 inch gap right here. So no aluminum to metal is touching, which is what you want. On this side I have a little bit more of a gap, about double, but that's all right. Here it is on this side. Looks good. Everything fits real nice after some trimming. Everything fits nice over here, and these two isolators are a little bit unsupported. So down at the bottom here and up here I will weld some metal on just to better support this. It's probably okay the way it is, but I just want to get it a little closer. But again, that's going to be in a future video when we mount our electric fans on here. Okay, now for the lower radiator. Doing a little bit of research, a lot of people use the Dayco 71990 part number hose, okay? And I will throw the application of the vehicle up on the screen because I forget off the top of my head. Now some trimming is required. You can see that this is a little tight of a fit. So what I'm going to do is start trimming this, and let me see what's it going to take here. We'll slide this on. Obviously it's probably going to have to be trimmed from both ends here. Should have put silicone spray on here. Okay, so I'm going to start nice and easy. I am going to take an inch or two off of here. Okay. Alright, we're just going to sneak up on this. Okay, that looks like it might be okay. Let's go ahead and trim this, and I'm going to trim it a little long. Okay, so now we're going to trim the other side. And the silicone spray actually helps with cutting it as well. Alright, let's give it another go. Well, that looks really good. I got about a 1/2 inch clearance here. We'll just jam that all the way on. I'm going to leave it right there. That looks nice. Okay, so we took about 1.25 inches, from the bottom here. And from the top, it looks like 2.5 inches. Okay, so just take small bites off and just, take it little at a time. I'm not going to put clamps on it because this is mock-up only, and I will peel these stickers off, okay? But this is as far as I'm taking it right now. Okay, for the top hose, I have a Dayco 71588, okay? I believe the application for this is a 97 Camaro with the 5.7, obviously the upper hose. So it's very close. However, when I put it on, there is a nice kink right here. okay? It would probably work, but I think I would like it a little closer, okay? I don't know if, maybe if we trim this, it'll straighten it out a little bit. This one's gonna be I think it'll work. And I think after some heat cycles, it might take shape. Okay, let's trim this guy up and see what's gonna happen. I made a mark here that's about 1.5 inches. Let's go ahead and trim that. All right, I'm going to trim a little bit off here as well. All right, so that looks pretty good. At first, I didn't think this was going to work. It's not kinking. It's a little tight, but I think after some heat cycles, this will hopefully relax a little bit. Just for giggles, let's put it on the other way. Yeah, that looks a little goofy right there. So yeah, it's gonna go this way, and it works. It's a little loose on this end here. I think it's 1.3 ID versus 1.25, but overall, yeah, let's run with this for now, and yeah, so that's good right there. Okay, now let's talk about the steam line or steam vent that is on all LS engines. So the steam vent's purpose is to get rid of pockets of air in the highest spot of the cooling system, which happens to be in the cylinder heads. So what they have is they have these ports here on the heads, and air pockets, steam, coolant will flow out of there through this line, and in stock form it is sent to an overflow tank, coolant tank, or in this case what a lot of these LS swap radiator companies do is put the port right here back to the radiator. Okay, so now I'm still in mock-up phases. This intake isn't even bolted on. I don't know if I'm using this drive-by-wire intake or am I going to get a cable-driven intake, but anyway, for purposes of this video, I'm just going to show you that you just simply route this guy right back into the radiator. So I'm going to just snip this line here. This is the stock one. And what you can do is just pop it in, you know, right here. Obviously, I'll trim this a little more. Okay, I think I trimmed too much off of that, but you get the idea. This guy would pop right on here. Okay, so that guy would fit right on here, and you would just zip tie these two lines together. Okay, the last thing we need to do is install the drain. Okay, so it comes with this drain. I put a little Teflon paste on here, and we'll just screw it in. Alright guys, well that's it for this video. The install is about 90% complete, but I think I'll finalize all the details as I start installing more parts in this swap, such as the electric fans and whatnot. I think I'll get a better idea of what else I need to do. So in the meantime, check out the 40 plus videos I have in the build playlist. I'll leave a link in the upper right, and make sure to check out Summit Racing. I'll leave a link in the video description. Just stay tuned for the next video.